Morning, boys. Trying to make a top dead center measuring device for likes when you've got to pull a motor down. This is something you'd do beforehand, is you'd set top dead center up. What I'm going to use a spark plug. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grind this whole shoulder here off, right the way around. It should allow, take that top off, should allow you to punch that porcelain clean out, or it does work, with so that you end up with a plug like that, and you can see straight through it, taking all the porcelain out, and you just pops it through. I've got a long bolt, a couple of lock nuts, and a washer. You can feed that into there, and then you've got this bit out here that will actually hit the top of your piston, and then we'll put another nut on here when we've measured it all up. So I'll show you how I went about it very quickly. What we did, we ground it down, just grab the grinder and cut that shoulder off, and then what it allows you to bring that whole porcelain out. Just end up with these little bits of, that's the end of the shoulder, that's the small clip that holds everything together, and that's what you end up with, is that plug. So I cleaned that one up, made it a nice flat surface so that everything will sit neat and square and flat. And all we need to do now is take it over to the bike and fit it up. What was it? So what we got here, what we've got, I'm going to do this before we set it up, so if you need to, for whatever reason this pointer comes off or is disturbed, before you've pulled the motor down, you've already set this up. So the easiest way we're going to do it, like we know top dead center's there, but you move it down so you can, to where the screwdriver doesn't move anymore. Screw this in here. Maybe. So like so. Now this is where the tricky bit comes in. You just wind that up to the highest point, and you can see the gap between the top of your plug and the washer. So all we're going to do, we'll just screw it down until it matches up the right height. Pretty close. You're getting horrible close there now. So for the guys that are going to turn around and say that you're going to bend pistons and valves, what we'll do is we'll sit that in here and we'll move that around, and when so it's still not there, just wind him down that littlest bit further until we find out just little by little by little. Yes, man, how's it going? Going the wrong way, going the wrong way. Just a bit of fiddling and farting around. There you go, so it's moving there now. So that's top dead center. Just move him back, move him up until he comes neat with that. So what we've done, we've got it working it so that when you hit top dead center, it stops moving. It's right on top dead center there now, it's stopped moving. So we'll rip it out and feed this other nut onto it. Nice and tight to start with, or just firm. Wind it away from top dead centre so that it's a long way off. Just feed him back in again. All things being fair and equal, when you wind it around, you should feel it hit. Well, it's not quite top dead centre yet, so it's just a matter of going through and adjusting it up until you're happy with it yourself that you've got it right. Righto, so jetting around, making it work and everything else. Be a good idea. Pull it away, drop your piston down when you're adjusting it. So you obviously don't punch it into the top of the piston when you're mucking around with it. Probably 3 or 4 goes I've had mucking around with it to make sure it's right. The easiest way I found out was to loosen this end one, hold this, and just screw it out, tiniest little bits or tiniest little bits in, and then do these pistons, do this up like so with your spanner, then just tip him back in again, wind him up. Put a bit of pressure on it so he's alright. Roll him around, get a photo of this. Roll it around. Boom, that's top dead centre. Whiz bang. So I suppose if you wanted to go just that tiniest little bit more, you could just keep mucking around with it until you get it 100% right, or until you're very happy with it yourself. If you're a perfectionist like myself, then it's got to be right. So, but that's the theory. Somebody might have a better idea that works off it a bit better at home themselves. But that's it. You have a top dead centre measuring. Do that before you pull your motor down. And Bob's your uncle. Have a go.
We're about to find out.